Hello, I'm Reverend Dr. Nathaniel Gadsden, and I'm a therapist, a Christian therapist here at the Esteem Holistic Health and Wellness Center. And we have services that are pretty broad in terms of the clients that we see. We work with people who have gone through all kinds of situations in life. You know, they always say that life will show up. And when life shows up, oftentimes we find ourselves in situations that we need a little bit of guidance, a little bit of help. And so our program is dedicated to persons of all walks of life and all faith walks too, by the way. And we're able to sit with them and help them to sort through the things that they need to look at. I use a formula, and I tell this all the time because we also train chaplains, and our chaplains training program is free and open to the public. Anyone who wants to be a volunteer chaplain, we call them assistant chaplains actually, for UMPC Pinnacle Health. We use a formula that says we listen, we clarify, we listen, and then we help with options. Because we don't believe that we have the answers, but we believe that all of our clients have answers within them. And so our job is to help them, bring the answers out of them. So issues such as adverse childhood experiences, the ACE model that many people are familiar with. Oftentimes people are dealing with stuff that they don't even know is something that may have happened in their life years ago, but it's still haunting them. Bullying is one of the things that people often have to deal with. Bad childhood experiences such as an abusive parent, an alcoholic parent, a situation that may have happened where a child began to believe that somehow they just weren't smart enough or whatever, and that thing begins to haunt them. So we look at adverse childhood experiences and try to help people to reclaim those things, to identify them, and then to deal with it. There are a lot of people who are going through recovery of all types. People who are dealing with alcohol and drug abuse. How do you recover from addiction? How do you handle that? And so we look at ways to identify the addiction and then to help them identify what I consider to be their team. And that team would be people who can help them to get over the rough spots, find resources, look for educational opportunities. And oftentimes people don't think like that. They think, they just got to handle everything on their own. But quite frankly, once you, build that team around you, and the phrase is, it takes teamwork to make your dream work. And so we say always, make sure you can identify those persons that you can turn to and that will help you out and that you trust. Another thing is make sure that team is a team of people that you click with. There's a great book out by an outstanding author, and he mentions you have a lot of people that you network with, but who do you click with? And so when you find that person that you click with, then you found that gift that God has given you. And so we ask people to really consider that. And because we are Christian counselors, we're always asking people to understand the functioning of the Holy Spirit in their lives as well. And the Holy Spirit will help them to deal with things, answer questions, find the common spaces they need to find. Never neglect, the power of the Holy Spirit. And so we ask people to do that as well. We deal with depression and anxiety, and that's a very common, kind of ailment that people go through. And you may have just a season of depression, a season of anxiety, and be able to get through it. But when you're not able to get through it, sometimes it's because you're hanging on to it so hard or you don't think there's any way out. And so we try to help people to understand that everybody probably goes through a little bit of depression, a little bit of anxiety in their lives, and sometimes maneuver through the pitfalls of depression. And the one thing I found out a long time ago was that, and this came out of a study that was done with a group of psychiatrists, and that is that when you are depressed or feeling down, sometimes the best thing you can do is to get up and do something. To get yourself in motion and to realize that the more you help somebody, the more you help yourself. And so we always talk about parallel processing, and that means that as I'm trying to help somebody, God is helping me as well. And so we always look at that process and make sure that we understand that we're never in this thing alone, and that whenever I am a helping agent, I'm also someone who needs help, and vice versa. So, it's a good journey. We are spiritual, guides. We are serious about what we try to do in terms of helping the client help themselves, and we try to make it as affordable as possible as well. We are very, very inexpensive because it's not just a business, even though we do use sound business principles. We are a ministry first and foremost. And so that's kind of what we are about. You can always make an appointment simply by calling the Life Esteem Holistic Health and Wellness Center, and I will even give you my personal cell phone so that you can contact me personally and make make an appointment. And we always look forward to working with you. And we are open to any day of the week. Sundays are not the best days, so we shy away from Sundays. But 6 days a week, we're pretty much open to try to set up an appointment schedule that will accommodate you within reason. And so that's what we do. That's what we're all about. I do have a book out that I use quite a bit. It's called Learning Self-Therapy Through Writing, a book that I wrote back in 2000. And I've revised it since then in 2013, 2014, and looking to revise it again. And this is a manual that talks about the 4 bridges in life that we have to cross over. The bridge of I am. How you identify yourself is extremely important. How you think of yourself, extremely important. The next bridge is I can. All of us can do something. Oftentimes, though, we think about what we can't do, and we use that as a reference point, which is a point of weakness. But when you think about what you can do, that's a point of strength. So we look at your bridge of I am and I can, and then you have to talk about your desire. What is it that you really want to do? There are some very talented people who have decided that's not what they want to do. Just because they're talented in an area doesn't necessarily mean they want to pursue that. And so that becomes, sort of a confusing state for them. Everyone's saying, oh, you're really good at this. And they're thinking to themselves, but I want to do something else. So part of what we ask you to do also is to think about what is it that you really desire. So that's the bridge of I want to. What is it that you want to do? And if you really want to do it, and if it's in keeping with the leadings and the spiritual direction of God, and that's the other thing we ask you to always be in touch with. What is it that God is asking you to do? And then you know what you want to do. So you cross that bridge to I am, I can, I want to, and that's your passion. Then once you get to that bridge, then you got to deal with the final bridge, and that is I will do it today. If you really want to get it done. I mean, I've talked about writing books and I've talked about those things, but I'm always finding myself doing other things. And so the question has to be asked, do you really want to do it? And if you really want to do it, then you have to get it done. So it has to be done today. And that means you have to get in motion. You have to start out putting it as a priority. You have to start making plans and executing those plans to get it done. Inside the book also, we deal with what we call flushing sessions. So we ask people to flush out every once a month all those things that you've been dealing with. In order to flush something out properly, you have to understand what your barriers might be and what your concerns are. So you have to address those concerns and barriers, and then you have to get moving on whatever it is. And then, in order to get moving, you have to have a plan. So we ask people to weekly have a contract with yourself. Instead of having everyone else tell you what to do, have a contract with yourself and make sure that contract can be fulfilled. So what you want to do is put down very specific things that you're going to get done that week. I'm going to, write 5 pages of my book this week. I'm going to fulfill my doctor's appointment that I've set up, for myself this week. And so then at the end of the week, you can look back and say, did I write the 5 pages? Did I go to my doctor's appointment? And those are the things that will drive you to your success, to your point of completion. And oftentimes folks come into a therapeutic setting knowing full well the stuff that they're dealing with or have to deal with, but they're not willing to deal with for some reason. So a lot of our therapy has to do with understanding what is it that's holding you back. So flushing that stuff out, making that contract, fulfilling it, making sure that you're right on point with where you need to be, making sure that you've consulted, the great teacher and the great therapist, and not God, and then making sure that you're sincere. And so when we do that, and again we go back to that, I am, I can, I want to, I do it today. And we go back to I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to ask you clarifying questions to make sure I'm on track with you. I'm going to listen some more, and then we're going to get down to that serious work of options. What are our options? The one thing I've learned in my own life, in my own therapeutic walk, is that oftentimes I reduce myself down to 1 or 2 things that I think I need to do in relationship to this particular problem or concern. When the truth of the matter is, there's so many things out there that can address your issues, but we are not open to those things. And so the question becomes, why are we not open to those things? Well, because we haven't allowed ourselves to even conceptualize what those other options might be. So my role as a therapist, as a Christian therapist, is to allow both of us to explore, and that is, what are the options and how can we make this happen? The other thing I will tell you is that we do a lot of family work too. So family group decision making is a process that both my wife and I are versed in, we've been trained in, And so we're open to do a lot of family work. And that's another great process where we help you to understand your strengths and your weaknesses, or concerns. We don't call them weaknesses, strengths and concerns. And then the persons, once again, that teamwork that you need to have at that table in that circle. Then ultimately, you and your family sit down and decide on, what are the best options and goals for yourselves. And it's coming from you, and not from the therapeutic group or from those persons in your life. It's coming from you. So it's a great process. We highly recommend it. We hope that you will take advantage of it. So those are some of the things we offer, like I said, here at the Life Esteem Holistic Health and Wellness Center. We believe that we have a wonderful model, and we're always looking to improve. We never settle and simply say, we have all the answers. We certainly don't. But what we have is we have the process, we have the will, and of course we have God. And when God helps us, we can help ourselves, and we can help you. Thank you so much, and I hope that you will check us out here at the Life Esteem Holistic Health and Wellness Center. And by the way, my cell phone number, if you want to contact me right away, you can call me as area code 717-608-2312. That's 717-608-2312. And the number here at the office is area code 717-412-0459. Again, that's 717-412-0459. We look forward to talking to you. God bless you, and hope that you'll join us someday.